Before we dive into today's video, which is 5 ways to fix the quarterback Justin Fields, if you're rooting for Justin Fields to turn it around, like this video. Listen, even if you're not a believer, you want him to turn it around, right? You want this team to start winning games. So if you're pulling for JF1, hit that like button. Let's stand behind him, even if you're not a believer anymore, and let's hope he can turn this thing around. Can Justin Fields be fixed? I'm Harrison Graham. You're watching Bears Now by Chat Sports. And like I said on today's show, I'm going to break down 5 ways to improve Justin Fields' play ASAP. Things that I believe the Bears can do to have him improve immediately, if we're being completely honest. You look through his stats so far this year, it's underwhelming, right? 60.6% completion, 427 passing yards, 2 touchdowns to 3 picks. 2 of those picks have resulted in pick sixes. Only 62 rushing yards and only 3 in week 2. 1 rushing touchdown as well. So it just hasn't been nearly good enough. It hasn't looked good. It's not even just a numbers thing. Like, you watch him in the pocket, he just looks very, very uncomfortable. So let's dive into 5 ways that I believe can help fix this quarterback. And I think the most obvious one is you just have to run him more. You have one of the most dangerous weapons in the NFL, and that is Justin Fields' legs. Regardless if you think he's a long-term answer, regardless if you think he's a good quarterback overall, regardless if you think he can throw or not, his running ability is very, very unique at the quarterback position. He was setting records last year, 2nd most rushing yards in NFL history for a quarterback, broke the single-game rushing record with 178 rushing yards where the Dolphins literally could not tackle him. You've got to run him more. Now, this is twofold. Number 1, Luke Getsy needs to call more designed runs for him, period. RPOs, zone read, QB power, especially in the red zone. Like, you've got to embrace his running. And I think Fields himself needs to embrace it when passing plays break down, or if he's just not trusting it. Well, you know you can go get some yards with your legs. Do that. But I think also Getsy needs to coach it in him. Like, hey, man, like, we know how good of a runner you are. When in doubt, like, use your legs to go get some yards. Like, we're trying to score points. We're trying to win games. And there was a big stretch last year where they were able to do that. And a big reason why was because this dude looked like a Ferrari. He ran for 1,143 yards and 8 touchdowns. He had like 5 or 6 different 50-plus yard runs. Like, I still believe he's the best running quarterback in the NFL. You're just not using him that way, which that doesn't make any sense. And I've made this point, and I'm going to hammer down on it again. Even if he looked like Peyton Manning in the pocket, would you want him to run for 1,100 yards? No. But you'd still want him to probably run for 500 or 600 because it's too good of a weapon. He runs a 4.3 40. He can break tackles. Like, that is a weapon to utilize, and especially since he's struggling from the pocket, then you really need to utilize it. So it makes no sense why they haven't very much through 2 weeks. That simply has to be part of the game plan moving forward. All right, number 2, you've got to force feed DJ Moore. And this sounds extreme, but I'm going to say it anyway. As you look at DJ Moore's numbers in week 2, which it was better, but I still think he can get more targets. I mean, he's got 9 targets this year, and he's caught 8 of them, 6 catches on 7 targets in week 2 for 104 yards. I said this during the game, and I'll say it again here. DJ Moore should be the number 1 read on almost every passing play. I know that's not how offenses are designed, but if I'm Luke Getsy, I am preaching it into Justin Fields like, hey, when you watch the tape, this guy's open a lot. That's your number 1 read. If he's getting doubled, if there's a safety over the top, okay, get to your 2nd read. But, like, when in doubt, throw the ball to DJ Moore. Like, he's got a chance to make a play most time you throw him the football. So simplify it for him. Mitch used to do this with Allen Robinson. He didn't see the field that well, so he would just throw it to AR, and Allen Robinson would make plays a lot of the time. And DJ Moore separates better than Allen Robinson. So, like, at least for now, like, I'm looking number 2 ways almost every single passing play if I'm Justin Fields. Now, that doesn't mean Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool and Cole Kmet and these other guys can't ever get the ball. So I'm saying 90% of the time, look his way first. Doesn't mean you're going to throw his way every time, but you got to force feed him. It's got to be well over 10 targets per game. 7 in a game still isn't enough. It's better, but it's got to be more moving forward. DJ Moore should get 10.5 targets per game, over or under 10.5. Type O for over, U for under. I think it should be over. I think it's got to be more. Force feed the guy. He's caught 8 of 9 targets. Like, give him the ball downfield, underneath. Even if you're going to run screens, throw it to DJ Moore. Like, he is the guy that's going to make plays for you. Rocket Money is going to save money for you. And all you got to do is go to rocketmoney.com/bears now to start canceling your unnecessary subscriptions today, because Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Most people think they're spending around $80 per month on their subscriptions, when in reality that number is closer to $200 when you're signed up for so many things, like streaming services you used to watch one show on, or free trials for delivery you don't use anymore. It's very easy to lose track of what you're paying for. With Rocket Money, you can cancel the subscriptions you no longer want with the single click of a button. They can also, and this is awesome, help you negotiate to lower your bills for you by up to 20%. How do you do that, Harrison? Well, all you have to do is take a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Listen to this, guys. With over 3 million users and counting, Rocket Money customers have saved an average of $720 per year. I repeat, Rocket Money customers have saved around $720 per year. So stop wasting money on subscriptions you don't use. Cancel those right now and manage money the easy way, the right way. That's with Rocket Money. RocketMoney.com/bears now. That link is in the comments and in the description. It's in the live chat if you're watching live. It's Rocket Money. Download the app by using our link right now, RocketMoney.com/bears now. All right, back to fixing Justin Fields. You got to give him leeway on his footwork. And I'm going to do a Twitter breakdown on this at some point. I plan to do it by now, but so much news has dropped for the Bears. The Bears changed his footwork. If you don't remember this, Luke Getsy and Andrew Janocko changed his foot alignment, number one. He used to be a right foot in front guy in the shotgun, where his right foot is forward. I'll try to do it like this, like right foot forward, left foot back. Then they flipped it. And the reason they did that is because a lot of quarterbacks in today's game, in the Shanahan offense, it's left foot forward, and it's all about a feel timing offense, like counting like seconds in your head with your footwork, basically, with which Justin Fields commented on back in June, which we'll get to in a second. And it's clear he's just not comfortable with it. Like, his drop is slow, the footwork is sloppy, even though it's second year in this offense. Here's Justin Fields back in June during Bears minicamp about this thing. He was asked about this footwork that they've worked on for the past year and a half. He said, and if he's comfortable with it, or if he likes it, he said, it's not necessarily for me. Of course, it does feel better than last year. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it. It just times up for the routes better. So basically, the design of it is to time with the routes. Just like I've been saying since last year, the whole offense is timed up with my feet, and just trying to use my feet as a clock in my head to move from each route to each progression. And I think that second part of that quote, number one, we looked past this at the time. I think we kind of shrugged our shoulders like, it's no big deal. But for him to say not necessarily for me, we should have put more stock in that at the time. And number two, hearing Justin Fields talk this week and saying, I feel like I'm getting too much information and it's causing me to play slow and robotic. Like, this is what I feel like he's referring to. Like, they're coaching so much into him that he's not playing with natural instincts, which is the type of quarterback he is with his mobility and his big game hunting downfield. Like, now, look, he deserves a ton of blame. He's got to play better, but it feels like information overload with all these little things. And it's like, hey, Luke Getsy, I'm Luke Getsy. You're Justin Fields listening. What are you comfortable with? Let's do that. You look at a couple of screenshots here. This is from his rookie year. Right foot in front, left foot back. And this is a play right here. It's a 5-step drop. He rips it to Darnell Mooney. It looks very comfortable for about 20 yards. And then you look fast forward this year, and they started doing it last year. Left foot in front. The footwork's clunky. His feet, click a lot of the time in the pocket. He drifts right or left on his drop sometimes. Like, it just doesn't look smooth. And he looks like a player who's thinking about it. Like, you can't afford to be dropping back 1, 2. No, you just have to play. You just have to play. You can't. Obviously, you're thinking when you play, but I think there's an overthinking that can happen, and I think that's what's happening. I really do. The footwork timing offense, it's not working for him. He's just not as advanced as Aaron Rodgers. That's the thing. Luke Getsy came from Green Bay, this Aaron Rodgers offense. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers can line up with his ass on the ground, and he's going to be able to run a damn offense. It doesn't matter how his feet are aligned. Justin Fields is a third-year quarterback who's still trying to progress as a pocket passer. Cut him loose. Make him comfortable. Ask him what he likes conceptual-wise. Like, yes, like you want to use some of your scheme as a coach. I understand. But the great coaches tailor to their players' strengths. Bears aren't doing that. They're not running him. The footwork is so opposite of what he's used to. He's still not comfortable with it. Like, what does he do best? That is the question Getsy should be asking him. Like, what do you like doing? Let's work more of that in, because I don't think they're doing that right now. Should the Bears let Fields switch up his foot alignment? Like, should they let him go right foot in front if he wants to? I think they should. Tim Jenkins' Elite, if you guys follow him, he hopped on the CHGO show earlier this week. He thinks switching the feet back, right foot in front, would fix a lot of these issues, which I found very interesting. Why not? Like, what do you have to lose? He clearly does not look comfortable the way you're currently asking him to do it. So type Y for yes, type in for no. Should the Bears let Fields switch up his foot alignment? Okay, a couple more here. And this kind of takes away from Fields specifically, but establish the outside zone running game. Where's the outside zone with your running backs? Like the under center toss plays, the stretch plays, getting outside, running the football with Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert led the NFL among qualified running backs with 5.7 yards per carry. They won't run him. Roschon Johnson had a 29-yard run last week. We didn't see him after that. I mean, this is criminal right here. 11 carries for your two running backs against the Bucs. It's not like you were getting blown out. Even when it looked bad, you were never down more than 10 points. You can run the football still. So you're not running the quarterback. You're not running the running backs. You're making yourself one-dimensional before the game even starts. And by the way, that one dimension, you're trying to make it as a pocket passer, which is not a strength of your quarterbacks right now. What are you doing as a coaching staff? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The two games, the running backs, because Deontay Foreman played some of the first games, they ran it 19 times in that game, but only 30 total carries? Your running backs this year? 30 in two games. Like, you could make arguments in some games you could get 30 carries out of your running backs, and you only have 30 in two games. Like, what is Getsy doing? Like, is Poles telling him, hey, 90% of snaps, make Fields a pocket passer? That's stupid if that's the case. I got to think that's not. Let him loose. Let him be comfortable. Use your running backs. This seems so obvious. And I know I'm just a guy on YouTube talking about the Chicago Bears. I'm not in those NFL practice meetings, but I got to be honest, man. Like, this seems like basic stuff, at least some of it. And then number 5, once you do run the football effectively with your running backs like you did last year, what does Justin Fields do really well? Well, under center play action, boots, waggles, even just hard play action where he drops back. He does that very, very well. He's a good play action quarterback. Stop living in the shotgun all the time. Obviously, you're going to run some shotgun. I would guess, and if I had time, I would have done this, but so much news dropped on Wednesday, and maybe I will chart this moving forward. I would guess out of Fields, however many passing attempts he has, I bet 75% of them are in shotgun. And I bet total plays in for the Bears offensively are 70+% out of shotgun, if not more. You got to get closer to 50-50, man. Like, get under center, run the football, use your fullback. Like, I know that sounds ancient, but like, the fullback's kind of made a comeback. When the Bears have good running plays, it's usually Kari Blasingame paving the way. He's on the roster. Use him. That's what you did well last year. Why'd you go away from it? It makes no sense. Run the football outside zone. Let your quarterback run. Set up play action. Let Fields run around if he wants to. Don't make him a robot. He's not a robot. He's not a pocket passer. Not right now. He's just not there. He may never get there. Like, let him do what he actually can do. That is what I'm trying to say. Do you trust Luke Getsy to adjust? I don't until he does it. I know he did it last year, but it took him 7 weeks. T for trust, D for don't. Do you trust Luke Getsy to make the proper adjustments? All right, if you want Justin Fields to turn it around, like I said, like this video. Even if you don't like him, I mean, we should all want him to turn it around. So hit that like button on today's show.